Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this transfer report claiming that Barca are eyeing free agent Angel Di Maria, of course, who will leave Juventus at the end of the season. Barca are eyeing him. This is not the first time we have been talking about Di Maria being linked to Barca. New reports still say Barca still, they might still possibly go for him when his contract comes to an end, when he will be a free agent come end of the season. Then secondly, talking about Samuel Umtiti, as it has been reported that Barca are not considering a return for the on-loan Frenchman right now. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. As football technology and fitness have advanced, players have started having longer careers than before. The likes of Lionel Messi, Olivier Giroud, Sergio Busquets, among so many others, are still key players for your team despite being on the other side of 35. Among these legendary ballers is also a certain Angel Di Maria. Now 35, the Argentine is showing little to no signs of slowing down. He was on the score sheet in the final of the World Cup against France and has 3 goals and 3 assists in 13 games in the Serie A. Di Maria only signed for a 1-year contract at Juventus, though, and is set to become a free agent in the summer. He will have his choice of clubs come June, including offers from outside Europe. One of the teams keeping tabs on Di Maria is Barcelona, as per a report from Tutto Mercato as related by Goal. Barca have been struggling with productivity from wingers, with Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati particularly severe underperforming. Di Maria could be a solution to the problem, especially if he can stay fit. The world champions has avoided injuries in the past seasons, but has already missed 14 games through injury this season. He was also unfit during the World Cup but made it back just in time for the final. Since then, he has played multiple positions for Juventus, including right winger, left winger, and even as a number 10. The report does state, though, that Di Maria is tempted to return to his boyhood club in Argentina, Rosario Central, but could be convinced to sign for Barcelona for a season or two. Barca were also linked to Di Maria earlier in the summer, but prioritized a move for Rafinha, who was eventually signed for 65 million euros. Of course, as I said earlier, not the first time we have been talking about Di Maria. Some couple of seasons ago, he was linked. Even last season, when Barca were looking for a new winger, he was still on the radar, and he will be a free agent. He did sign just a 1-year contract with Juventus. Definitely, for my own opinion, I think Di Maria is not a necessity for us, no matter what. I think we don't need him. It's true that, yes, some of our wingers have been underperforming this season. Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and so on and so forth. But I think with time, those players will gain back their form. Yesterday, we saw Ferran's performance against Cadiz. Hopefully, he can continue with that momentum. And of course, I think we have very talented wingers. There's no need to bring in a 35-year-old player who will play for just one season. And I think right now it's just a moment to be patient with the young wingers that we have. Di Maria, definitely his experience is unquestionable. He knows the highest in football and everything. He's a world champion. And yeah, I think he really cherished to be a Barca player if Barca come knocking on the door. This is not the first time that he has seen the opportunity coming, and definitely he will not try to refuse in case Barca insists. But I don't think it will be something very necessary for us to go to a player like Di Maria. Had it was some years back, then there's no problem. But not like Di Maria don't have the talents right now at his age. Di Maria is still one of the key players at Juventus, but necessarily does not mean we should bring him. It's all about right now. Look at how players are still fighting for a single position on the forward line. They are not safe, especially as Xavi is now going more on this four midfield system where he uses a 4 swinger whereas that false winger is a midfielder. At the end, you see just two forwards in Javis lineup every time, except yesterday against Cadiz where he had to do some changes, knowing fully well that Manchester United game is coming up. But come on, it's going to be very, very hectic because there are many of those players who don't even see game time regularly because of Javis change in tactic and formation. So definitely there's a problem there. So no need to be bringing a player like, you know, like Angel Di Maria because I don't see it necessary at this point. We still have the talent. We still have the players that we are still trying to have patience with in their 20s, in their early 20s. So let's see how it goes. If Barca will continue to push for the move, knowing fully well that Barca really want to go, but more of free agents, as Matteo Alemany himself did admit some few months ago. Then on to the next story of discussion. Samuel Umtiti's departure was beneficial for Barcelona for several reasons. For once, the team managed to free up some space in their wage bill, and his departure also helped them sign prominent defenders who have been crucial to the team's success this season. But now that his loan tenure with Serie A side Lecce is set to expire at the end of the season, questions remain as to whether or not the French defender will have a place in the first team next season. Why it is indeed going to be a hot topic for debate. Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo claims that Barcelona are in no hurry to make a decision. The outlet says any decision regarding the centre-back's future is reserved for later. For now, the technical staff is keenly observing Umtiti's progress in the Italian Serie A. The 29-year-old World Cup winner is performing well at Lecce and is, in fact, getting regular minutes, having tallied a total of 946 minutes across 12 outings in the league. It must be remembered that Umtiti's ongoing deal with Barcelona runs until 2026, and there is a growing sense of belief that Barcelona would require a new centre-back next season, but the Frenchman's name is nowhere to be seen in the list of potential candidates. At the moment, Mundo Deportivo brands Umtiti's return as very hasty. It is not that the report on players' development is not good. On the contrary, the 29-year-old has recovered very well and is enjoying his life in Italy, but no decisions will be made while being in a state of hurry. He still has 5 months left in his loan contract, and Barca are going to respect that. Interestingly enough, another on-loan defender, Sergio Dest, falls under the same category. Although contrary to Umtiti's performance, the former Ajax right back has in fact struggled to put on a positive display. In any way, decisions over his future is also reserved for later.